Yo, what is going on, guys? We are back today for another video. This one's gonna be Battlegrounds focused, but focused on feedback for the mode because we just had like a month-long beta and it ended. And I told myself I was gonna make a full feedback video because I really care about this mode and I really want Kabam to get it right. And I think they're on a very good track, but they need to make some changes. And I think if Kabam made all the changes I listed here, I think this game mode would just be so perfect. And this game could last so long. Like, without this game mode, I feel like this game, and Marvel Contest Champions in general, didn't have much of a lifespan left. Maybe a year or two. But with this mode, man, it's potential for 5+ years. I think easily. Like, I think this mode can really provide the longevity that this game needs. And that's awesome, because this is my job, you know? So, I only want what's best for the game and this mode. And the community. So, I'm going to voice my feedback here. I really hope Kabam listens, actually makes some changes, because they have such a good mode already. They just need to execute its actual launch and make the player base happy. So let's get into some of the feedback I have. So these are going to be the main talking points. So we're going to have scoring, which is going to be dealing with timeouts, bonus points, game mode logistics like the energy and champion cooldowns. We're going to talk about the nodes. We're going to talk about gameplay mechanics with deck drafting, signets, and then my biggest gripe with the mode, which is RNG BS, which we'll talk about once we get to that final talking point. Like I said, it is my biggest gripe with the mode. So yeah, let's start talking about it. So scoring is the easy one. So I feel like scoring it's interesting, but there's a group of people out there that really dislike the scoring system, and they have this mindset of, you know, if I take down the defender that I'm given, and my opponent does not take down the defender they're given, it should be a clear-cut win and a loss. If one person fully KOs the opponent and the other person does not, it should be a clear-cut victory. That's some people's mindset, and I can understand that, because like in Alliance War, like dying and not dying is like everything, right? It's very important. But Battlegrounds is different. But I think there is an easy solution here. Such a simple and easy solution for this problem. And it's all you have to literally do is think about timeouts in this game. Literally anywhere that a timeout is possible, there has to be a timer. So incursions, Alliance Quest, Alliance War, whatever. If there's a timer, you time out, what happens? You lose half your health. It's that simple. So why is that not incorporated into Battlegrounds? If you time out, if you do not KO the defender, you should be subtracted half of your health remaining points. Or just straight up lose half your health, and then your health remaining points will reflect it. So, I think that's such a simple and easy solution. Why is it not already been incorporated? I don't know, man. To me, that just seems like such an obvious thing to do. And I think it wouldn't make everyone happy, but I think it's the perfect compromise for this problem. I really do. So I'd love to see that change with scoring. And now the next change I'd love to see in scoring is bonus points, because Battlegrounds it's tough for some champions that might not be just speed based. All champions are built differently, and most of them play differently, right? So not every champion is going to be able to blitz the defender down in 1 minute. Some champions require build up. Multiple specials, maybe special 3, which special 3 skip is not available in Battlegrounds, which I absolutely think that it should be. But perfect. Not all champions are fast. It's just, and it's not the champion's fault. That's how they were designed. They should not be penalized and unable to be used in Battlegrounds because of that. I think what should happen is if you finish the fight with a certain health amount, you should get bonus points. Now, Kabam can do this in a number of ways. I've thought of many different ways to do it. Just an idea I had is basically above 90% health, let's say, you get bonus points. And for each percent above 90, you get additional bonus points. So, for example, let's say you finish with 90% health. You would get 100 bonus points, 92% or 91%, 200 bonus points, 93%, 300 points. It just keeps going up for each percent. And then if you finish with 100%, a full yellow bar, those bonus points should be doubled, multiplied by 2. Because I think that play style of like perfect play, playing slow, steady, but playing really well should absolutely be rewarded in Battlegrounds. Like skillful play needs to be rewarded, not as much as, oh, I have suicides on, I killed my defender in 30 seconds, I'll take the free win. Like, I don't know. I'm fine with that. I'm fine with those speed kills and getting a lot of points for that, but slow and steady playstyle should also get rewarded if you execute that style well, in my opinion. That's just what I think. I'd really love to see those two changes made to scoring. I think that would be incredible. That would make the mode perfect for me scoring wise. Alright, now next up, let's go ahead and talk about game mode logistics, which is energy cooldown. So right now it's 15 energy to find a match, which I think is way too much. So honestly, I think I would just much rather have its Battlegrounds to have its own energy. Like, you know, we have war energy, which is red, AQ energy, which is blue. Just make like a new one like that, a 6 out of 6, make it purple. There you go, Battlegrounds energy. It recharges every 45 minutes. And like winning should like make it recharge a little bit faster, or something like that. And then they can sell Battlegrounds energy refills in the Battlegrounds store, or something like that. I'd love to just see that. If Kabam really does not want to do that, and they want to just stick with using questing energy, then I think all they need to do is change it to 5. Because we already have small energy refills, which fills your energy up for 5. That's the perfect amount. Why not just make that the cost to find a Battlegrounds match? 5 energy, that's reasonable. I think everyone would be okay with that. And it's get a small little refill from a free crystal or a quest crystal, and boom, now you can play another Battlegrounds match. 15, way too excessive. I think 5 would be the perfect amount if they do decide to keep questing energy, but I would prefer to have its own unique energy. But yeah, can't have everything. But I think if they just change it to 5, I'd be very happy, and I think a lot of other people would too. Next, let's talk about the nodes. So I think the nodes have been really great so far. It's very interesting to have these different metas that are so different from each other. For example, like Safeguard to like Masochism is so different, and the decks that I would build for those metas are entirely different. And like champions like Stark Spidey, I never use them during Safeguard, and Cosmic Ghost Rider, but as soon as that meta changes, I get to use those champions, and it's like, oh my god, I miss them so much. But I think when it comes to nodes, I don't want it to be changed too often. I think that could be a problem. If it's like a weekly change, I think that's too fast. Like, this is fine for a beta to like just test, you have to try different metas. But I think if we actually had like a season of Battlegrounds, like keep it the same for like the entire, for like a month period or a 3-week period of one node meta, so that like people can actually put together a deck that month for that meta. You know, maybe try to get some champions. But like if it just switches every week, you know, it wouldn't. I don't know. I wouldn't be trying to build up a deck as much if it's just the meta's just gonna rapidly switch. So yeah, I think that so far the nodes are great, but we just need to can't be switched up too much. We need to stick with one meta for a while. That's what I think. Anyways, let me know what you guys think about that. I think it would just be a little too crazy if the meta switched every week. Yeah, I don't know. That'd definitely be harder for players that don't have as big of rosters as well. Whereas, and I mean, players that have big rosters are already at a pretty heavily advantage as well. So I don't feel like we need to give them even more advantage, right? So yeah, that's my thoughts on the nodes. Good. Now we have gameplay mechanics. So deck drafting, signets, which signets are the reshuffle. So I don't know. I feel like right now the deck drafting is a little bit too RNG based. For example, like I would never get to use my torch because he'd pretty much like 80% of the time he would just get banned, which there's nothing I can do about. But on those 20%, the other 20%, when he wouldn't get banned, my opponents would like draft their torch, and I'd be like, okay, great, and then I just never got my torch. I just never got him, and I don't know. It felt like a problem. I think every single match you should get one free reshuffle, just one free one, and then you know if you want to reshuffle again, you gotta buy them and use them from your own inventory. But I think I really do think that every match you should get one free shuffle, because your deck is just so vast, and you get screwed a lot with class types too, which I don't. I want to see something to maybe control the class types that you get when drafting. For example, this is just a rough idea, but this is a very rough example. Get like at least every class drafted at least once, like through your draft. So like, you know, if your opponent gets a domino on the first round and you're trying to get a tech champ, like you could draft and just never get a tech champ. You know, like I feel like you should guarantee at least every class should at least pop up a single time, just at least once. But then, when I think about that, well then, okay, well then what if you just kept one champion of a class in your deck? Then you could draft that champion every time. So, I don't know. There would need to be something else, but I just feel like champion drafting is a little bit too much RNG based right now, or you keep drafting the same champions, and then those champions go on cooldown right away, and you just can't seem to draft other champions, and it's, I don't know. I think just one free reshuffle every match would be huge at the very minimum, and I think Kabam can easily do that. If you guys have any other ideas on how to change with the deck drafting and stuff or anything, let me know, because this one's kind of hard to think of, because I don't want to make it too unbalanced, you know. But yeah, guys, so that's the bulk of my feedback. Now we just have one left. My biggest gripe with the mode RNGBS, which is not even to do with the deck stuff. So it's essentially how BattleGrounds works is it's just randomly decided who picks first, and whoever picks first round 1 also has to pick first in round 3 if it goes to that, and it's just randomly chosen by Kabam, which is absolutely ridiculous, because picking first is a massive, massive disadvantage, and you might not think so. I'm going to show you a prime example of me just getting absolutely screwed over by having to pick first. So this is the end of a match. It's 1-1, tied on the rounds. I had just fought this guy's Nick Fury with my Dr. Doom. It was like one of the cleanest fights I've had. Chat was like, "Oh my god, that's such a clean fight." Like I was feeling so good. But I'm like, guys, I'm pretty sure I just lose, because you see my 3 champions left here are Nick Fury, Man-Thing, and Nimrod. His 3 champions are Immortal Abomination, Human Torch, and APOC. There's no way I win here if I have to pick first. There's just no way. It's not, unless I'm playing someone who's not very intelligent, because all this guy has to do is place his Human Torch on defense. And of course, like I want to put Nick Fury down on defense, but if I do that, my 2 options are Man-Thing and Nimrod. Neither can take Torch, but Torch is an attacker, so I was hoping my opponent wouldn't realize to put him on defense. So I had to pick Nick Fury here and just hope that I didn't have an intelligent opponent. But I did. This guy's not dumb. He's very smart. So he places Human Torch. And now I'm just absolutely screwed. There's nothing I can do here. Man-Thing is going to get melted right away fighting Torch, and so is Nimrod. And he has APOC to fight my Nick Fury. But all of this would have been avoided if I didn't have to pick first. Because if I didn't have to pick first, there's no way this guy would put his Human Torch on defense. There's just no way. There's no shot if he had to pick first. So I just get screwed by having to pick first here. And as you'll see, I just get absolutely melted fighting this Human Torch in less than 20 seconds. There's no chance I survived that. Not a chance. And it was all because I had to pick first. It's quite ridiculous, man. It honestly is. And I just hate how it's just randomly decided who has to pick first. It's not how it should be. So this is the biggest thing that needs to be changed, in my opinion. The absolute biggest thing. So I think there's 2 ways that it can be fixed. So both ways have the same starting solution. So basically, round 1 of BattleGrounds, you both place your defender, and it's revealed at the same time to each other. So, like, no one places first. It's just same time, so it's fair. You both anonymously choose your defender, and then once it's locked in, you get to see who they picked, and they get to see who you picked. And there we go. Round 1, totally fair. So I think that's absolutely 100% what needs to happen. Round 1 should be like that. Really. It is absolutely ridiculous to have to pick first round 1, because it gives your opponent so much information. It gives them so much information. And it's just not fair. Information is power, especially in a mode like this. It should not just be randomly decided. It should not be randomly given. So round 1, randomly, defenders, and then it can go 2 routes from here. So route 1 is it just stays like that. So defenders are anonymously picked and then revealed to each other at the same time. And then, someone can pick their attacker first. That's fine. It still is some information, but the defenders get picked first at this, simultaneously, both sides for round 2 and 3. Go that route. I don't love that route, but I think that would be fair. I think the more plausible route and a bit more makes sense route to go. So round 1, same thing. It's random, simultaneously pick the defender. And then round 2, whoever won round 1 has to choose their defender first in round 2 because they have an advantage now. They have an entire round won. All they need to do is win one more round. So they can be put at a slight disadvantage and have to pick first because they're already up an entire round. And then that gives the other guy who lost the first round a slight chance to come back and gives him a little bit of an advantage, getting that intel and knowing who his opponent is picking for that defender first. And then round 3, if it goes to there, same thing. Whoever won round 2 would have to pick first in round 3 because they had just won a round. So yeah, I think that's the best solution to picking first. Honestly, that's my biggest problem with the mode. It's just I don't understand. It's such an when I'd get a match and I'd see my opponent have to pick first, I'm like, that's awesome. Like he has to pick first, it's great. But when I have to pick first, I'm like, dude, this sucks. Like, why do I have to pick first? And it just shouldn't happen. It's just random. At least if there's at the very minimum, if there's a coin toss, you pick heads or tails at the start or something, so at least you can see it decided, But I don't want Kabam to just choose, even if a coin toss is random, sure, but show it to me. Show me I lost the coin toss, then I'll pick first, At least need to see that at the very minimum. But I'd rather just not see that at all. I'd rather just round 1 be simultaneously selection, so it's fair. And yeah, guys, that is going to be my feedback when it comes to BattleGrounds. Let me know what you guys think. If you agree, disagree with anything, I'd really love to hear it. This mode means everything to me, so I'm definitely going to be reading all the comments on this video, and I really hope Kabam listens and hears me out as well. I was going to do a drop a like if you did enjoy. If you guys want to subscribe to the channel, there will be a lot more BattleGrounds content when it actually comes out. We're going to be participating in all kinds of tournaments, all kinds of stuff, streams, so much content to be coming. And once we hit 100K, man, we're going to be eating the world's hottest gummy bear on stream. So if you guys want to see that, just subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. Love you guys. Peace out.